Hi, this is Dave Lipscomb, and I am introducing a video series to you that hopefully will be useful for you or for your children as you learn and work with Eureka Math, specifically the 8th grade year where I'm starting this project of mine. I am a credentialed California math teacher, and I have been teaching math for 4 years. And I am very excited to build a set of videos that I think will be very valuable to students across the country who are using the Eureka Math or Engage New York 8th grade curriculum. I have 4 years of experience teaching math, and I have 3 years experience teaching this curriculum. And I think it's a very good curriculum, and I'm very excited about Common Core, very strongly believe in it. At the same time, I think that there are some improvements that I can help with that will make this year go even better for your students, knowing the gaps that exist, some gaps that I think exist right now in the curriculum. And maybe as you listen to this, some of these will resonate with you, or maybe they'll resonate with you as you get through the year. What I want to do today is, again, just in this video, hopefully keep it relatively short, under 10 minutes, and explain to you what this set of videos is. It is targeted at the 8th grade Eureka Math curriculum, not 7th grade, not 9th grade, not any other year. If this works out, I will build it for some of the other years as well. And so there will be about 130 videos that I will be building, one for each lesson of the year. 8th grade modules 1 through 6, and all of the lessons contained within each one. These are targeted, again, at either the 8th graders who are taking this curriculum. In some cases, it might be 7th graders. And it can target the parents of those students who want to help them learn math. Okay, so what is in each video? In each video, I'm going to, it's not going to necessarily replace the curriculum itself. It's going to be an adjunct to you and to your teacher in helping you understand Eureka Math. So what I will do is provide extra worked examples, some procedures for solving problems, maybe some extra ways to conceptually think about solving these problems and what's going on in this lesson. There may be some alternate explanations of how to do things than for perhaps the way your teacher teaches them. And I will also connect what is learned in the lesson to the homework itself. Sometimes Eureka Math, the lessons teach one thing, and while the homework supports the learning and that you have that day, it's sometimes hard for students to get going on the homework because it somehow seems different or looks different. So I'm going to give at the end of each lesson what I call homework helpers. It's not going to be the answers to the homework. It's going to be help that will get you started with the homework. So let's look at what I'm talking about in particular, and I'm going to cut over. I'm going to show you an actual lesson and explain to you some of the things that I see in this lesson where I can be of value. So let's cut over here to, this is 8M1 lesson 2. So what you're seeing here on the screen is the actual handouts that you get as a student in class for Engage New York or Eureka Math. So the first thing I want to point out is that, notice here, this is where we start in our, the equivalent of the textbook, the handout, and we have this rule, x to the m times x to the n equals x to the m plus n. And it says, in general, if x is any number, m and n are positive integers, then blah, blah, blah. And it kind of gives you this explanation why. However, as a student, if you're at home, for example, and you were sick that day and you see this is really hard to translate straight into this problem. It's like, well, seeing this, I don't really know how to take it from this kind of generic explanation to this exercise and come up with the right answer. So what I do is I help tie together this explanation with these problems to teach you how, using this rule, you can solve x to the 14 to the 23rd times 14 to the 8. And I walk you through it, and I will also give you some extra examples. Notice also that there is no answer. The book here, there's no worked example. So I don't know how to apply this rule to this problem and see it work. Like I don't see like, well, maybe I would have 5 to the second power times 5 to the third power equals, and I'd write it out and write the steps and write the work that I'd like to see each student create. I will provide that information also in the video. Okay, so now hopefully in class your teacher's teaching you that anyway, and I would expect that. But sometimes you get home and you've forgotten what the teacher taught, and you need a reference to go back to, and maybe you don't take good notes, or maybe you missed class that day, or maybe you had a fire drill. Who knows what would cause you not to have taken good notes or to have a good recollection of what happened in class. But these videos will hopefully provide that information. So we go along in the lesson, all good, and it gets a little tougher, all good. We get a new rule, and we don't have any example here that explains what this means. So how do you apply this? Maybe I would expect a 12th grade math student or an 11th grade math student to understand this, but an 8th grader may not understand how to take this and apply it to these exercises. So again, my videos will do that. Okay, so now we made it through the entire lesson. We were successful in class, perhaps. And then we get to our homework. The teacher says, okay, now that we understand how to do everything, we've done exercise 1 to 32, we are ready to do our homework problems 1 to 5. Well, you get home and you are now looking straight at this problem with all these words and this chart that you have to fill out. Now let's look back over here at the lesson. There were no word problems. There were no charts to fill out. So I'm on problem 1, and now I'm perhaps confused. Well, another thing that I do in my videos is I am going to help you think about some of this homework. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but I'm going to maybe give you a problem that looks like this, or maybe give you some hints about how to think about each problem so you can get going. Notice everything is a word problem on this homework, and I think that's good because word problems create critical thinking, which is a very important part of math. Which is how do you apply the math you've learned to the real world, which is what we're doing on this homework. But again, there was no real world math in the lesson, just a bunch of procedural problems. So again, I'm going to help you bridge that gap. Okay, so let's come back to our, you can come back and we'll look at my beautiful face again, and we'll, let me just kind of take you through to the end of this overview. So again, what is the purpose of these videos? The purpose of these videos is for students who maybe need an alternate example or alternate explanation of how to do problems in this lesson. To students that miss class. If you miss class, these videos can provide an alternative way for you to learn the information so that you can do your homework. It won't be a complete replacement. These videos are not going to be, an hour long or 45 minutes long. They're going to be targeted at about 20 minutes. Maybe you fell asleep in class. Maybe you're at home for 3 days sick and you need something to get you through. So these videos will hopefully get you through to a point where you can do your homework, and maybe with a little help from your teacher. Maybe the videos themselves just has everything they need in them so that you can do the lesson and do your homework. Also, maybe you're a parent and you're engaged in helping your student learn math. Maybe not every day, but some days, and you don't remember how to do the math. These videos may be able to provide you, the parent, a recollection or procedures that you remember from 20 or 30 years ago when you were in school, and you can then help your student out. Or maybe you can just watch the videos and say, aha, that's what they're trying to get at. Because again, the lessons themselves don't have the worked examples. The lessons themselves don't have the methods for solving the problems. If the student didn't take notes in class, the student does not come home with a list of steps of how do you solve these problems. Okay, so finally, how might you use these videos. For some students, maybe they get the lesson and all they need is homework help. So you can fast forward the video. You guys all know how to use YouTube. So just take these YouTube videos and just fast forward almost to the end and look for that homework help section and check out the homework help. Number 2, it's extra problems. So maybe you understand you think you understand how to do the lesson, so you can just fast forward in the video to where I present a problem, pause the video, try to solve the problem on your own, and then see if you get the right answer as I work the problem. Again, I encourage you when you're watching these videos to try and solve problems on your own. So that's kind of a little bit of an overview. Finally, what I would ask, if you like the videos or you don't like the videos, to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down using your YouTube controls. Also, I encourage you to say, give me feedback on how well I'm doing. Perhaps you say, Mr. Lipscomb, at minute 15, I didn't really understand how you combined like terms. Or maybe, Mr. Lipscomb, slow down. I know I have a problem of talking too fast. So say, slow down, Mr. Lipscomb. You can remind me to do that. Or you can say, Mr. Lipscomb, I don't like your blue shirt. Please wear green. Please switch it up a little bit. Mr. Lipscomb, part your hair on the other side. Mr. Lipscomb, I like it when you put on glasses. Or, Mr. Lipscomb, good job. Oh, thank you. Love it. Or you can, I don't tell that many jokes, so that we're not going to do too much laughing. I could do that to cue in a joke. All right, we're done with this. Okay, so if you need any further explanation about what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, just go and watch one of these videos. Watch a few minutes of it, fast forward, rewind, pause, try a problem, and form an opinion about whether this will help you. And I hope to see you. I really encourage you. Hope to see you online. Hope these videos are useful. If you like them, tell your friends. And I'm not charging for them. So hopefully they help you out. I'm doing it because I love teaching math. See you online.